Jordan.
Yeah.
Can you do an impression of John Mulaney smashing grapes at a wine vineyard?
No, I'm not gonna.
Can't believe how many grapes there are to smush. I could smush these all day and I'd never smush enough.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Monday, April 28th, 2025. I'm Jay Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, that's Melas.
Basketball fans, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kerby. Hey, yo. And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe, podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. On today's show, we're going to recap all 8 NBA playoff series.
Hey!
So we should get started right now. We'll start with the Western Conference matchups. We'll make our way to the East. But let's start with Sunday's great game between the Lakers and Wolves. Anthony Edwards, 43-point masterpiece, helping the Wolves win that thriller to take a very, very important 3-1 series lead. I mean, these two games over the weekend between these two teams were both awesome, and the Wolves took care of business in both of them. For the second consecutive game task, the Wolves were like the smarter, more disciplined team down the stretch, and that was really led by Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, starts with Anthony Edwards answering all those questions we and everybody had going into the postseason. Was he going to make the right reads when the doubles came? Was he going to make the right passes? Was he going to be decisive? Was he still going to go to the free throw line? Was he going to hit those big three-point shots when he wasn't driving? He answered all those questions. Going to the fourth quarter, he saw Luka guarding him. Bang, bang. First two possessions, he hit those. He hit the first 11 points of the fourth quarter for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The guy was just feeling it from the three-point line. But as I said, the driving, the getting to the free throw line, going to the free throw line 5 times in that fourth quarter was really important to go along with that 16-point performance. He went for it, in the words of John Krasinski. Yeah, he wanted to taste the jugular, and he did. He really did. That taste for the jugular was very, very apparent going at Luka and LeBron earlier in the game, but he relies on everybody else. To get him to the fourth quarter, he relies on Julius Randle in the first half, Donte DiVincenzo, and Naz Reid, especially towards the last few minutes. They're running plays for Naz Reid.
Yeah, because he can't miss in the fourth quarter of the series. He's a perfect 9 for 9.
He hasn't
good
missed.
Strategy.
Yeah, he's just come through. Again, he's running around a pick to bomb away a three from deep with minutes left in this game. So, yeah, they just came through while the other team didn't have enough guys. I mean, we mentioned all the Timberwolves players because they went three deep on the bench.
Yeah.
All those guys came through while the Lakers, they played 5.
They played 5 guys in the second half.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is
actually crazy. I mean, I took the Lakers to win this one thinking, A, they probably have the best player in the series in Luka Doncic. They might have the 2 best players in Luka and LeBron. And the Lakers, I thought, would be the smarter clutch team, and both of those things have been completely false so far. Anthony Edwards has been the best player in this series. He's completely taken it to Luka every time he sees Luka on him, and he's been the best clutch player in this series, which is crazy for how the Wolves season went. I think they won 43% of their clutch games, but in the last 2 games in the fourth quarter, Ant, 11.5 points per game, 54% shooting, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. He had those 3 contested threes basically to start the fourth quarter. Then you look at the complete stats for the Lakers. In their last 2 games, Luka has 3 clutch points. He's 1 for 3. LeBron has taken 2 shots in the clutch, hasn't scored in the last 2 games for the Lakers. Meanwhile, Minnesota has outscored LA 25-11, shooting 63% during that time. Basically, they sub Gobert out and their offense goes insane. It's part Naz Reid and it's part Anthony Edwards getting to the hoop. He just really put it together. I guess he's just a playoff riser. Like, he had a good season, a great 3-point shooting season. There were some concerns in the clutch that he was taking too many threes. He wasn't taking too many threes, I thought, in this game, or really in game 3 either. But, man, his ability to get to the rim. He's invented this new sidestep move where he goes to the left with a step through. He's a Euro stepping to the left. Worked twice in this game. Just incredible stuff from the Wolves, and they're completely wearing out the Lakers. The Lakers are leading through the first 3 quarters of these last 3 games and then get completely ran off the floor in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Maybe play another guy.
Well, yeah, that's right. I think it was the Star Tribune put it this way. JJ Redick employed a 5th grade AAU basketball strategy on Sunday. The one where a coach picks his 5 best players and he only plays them in trying to win the championship. That's what he did. I mean, Redick started the second half with Dorian Finney-Smith. in Jackson Hayes' place. Okay, we keep getting these Hayes starts that he plays for like 4 or 5 minutes, then he's gone. But it was DFS, LeBron, Rui, Austin Reeves, and Luka. And that has been their best lineup, especially when you're looking at like their centerless best lineup. But Redick just ran with them the entire second half because he didn't trust anybody. And look, they were great in the third quarter, but there is no doubt they started to fatigue in the fourth. You have a 40-year-old guy. You have Luka, maybe not the greatest conditioned athlete on the planet, but like you just look at the shot selection. That's what I looked at in the fourth quarter. They hit one field goal that wasn't a three. One. It was like a Luka, like tough turnaround jumper with like 7 minutes to go. When he looked over at the fans who were talking crap. That was it. And that to me is just like Naz Reid did a great job a couple times on Luka. Like Luka couldn't get by him.
Luka can't get by anybody in the fourth quarter right now.
Right.
He needs somebody to set him a screen, but they're playing small ball. You know who should set him a screen? LeBron James.
Yeah, maybe.
That guy is doing nothing in the fourth quarters. He was basically an afterthought, I thought, offensively until the last minute when he missed an open three and then had a turnover. Not great.
No.
Those minutes are turning both LeBron and Luka into one-way players. Luka's getting targeted every time defensively. LeBron is making awesome defensive plays. He was a demon on the defensive end in the fourth quarter, but he's an afterthought offensively. Meanwhile, Luka is trying to carry the offense. Very stagnant. I would like to see something going on outside of Luka trying to get an ISO and go by somebody. Somebody set him a screen. It should be LeBron, because what are you going to do in that scenario? Get LeBron the ball in a short roll, let him make a play, or maybe let LeBron handle the ball. He's done it before. I've seen it.
But again, I think a part of it is just they are gassed by the time they get to that point of the game. Like
Right.
they should have. I mean, there is no doubt. Of course, we're looking back at it, but like probably when you built that lead in that third quarter, there was probably a little bit of a time there to maybe get one, if not both those guys out, maybe at least one. Just another minute rest there between the quarters. Like it might have helped and been enough. But awesome stuff again from the other side with the Wolves. Like you guys said, Ant was amazing. Ant got him back into the game like that, like you said. Suddenly they're right back into it.
Yeah.
I love this quote like from DiVincenzo after the game too. He's like basically Edwards is a mirror for the team. So he just like infuses that belief in his teammates. Like the guy always believes you're still in the game because like you got me, so we're good. And like he's just cut from the same cloth as your Jordans and your Kobes. He's young. He's got a lot to prove still. But if you don't see it, like then you're blind. He's just that sort of psycho. In a good way. And then you said Naz Reid and DiVincenzo, everybody helping out. They just had more contributions.
That's the best thing about Ant is they get him into a post-game interview, and the first thing he says is, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid.
Yeah.
He talks about everybody else before they get to him, even though he dominated.
Yeah. He truly wants to go for it. That taste for the jugular is real. Yeah. And you could see that it was there last year too. And,
of course.
And that's why, just looking at the stats, how bad they were in the clutch this season, I thought, well, they were bad in the clutch going into last year's playoffs, but somehow it's this guy. They rely on this guy. We can name all their guys and how Julius Randle was really good in this game. And he was reliable in the first half. He scored 21 points in the first half to get them to that second half. And you can definitely mention Jaden McDaniels in this series has been awesome. 16-11 in this one. And Naz Reid to get them there in the fourth quarter. I mean, they're, again, 2 monstrous threes in the last 4 minutes. You can name so many guys, but it all starts with Anthony Edwards. Oh, yeah. There is no doubt. Because he is so freaking good right now. This is the best version of him. And yeah, to compare him to Kobe and MJ, just to put him in the same breath, it's fine because they have that same mentality. Totally. You could see it on the floor when he was bumping with LeBron over and over.
He loves it.
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves it. He's up for the challenge. He'll step to the challenge. He doesn't care that these guys are legends. Anthony Edwards is like in front of our very eyes turning into Randy Orton, to drop a wrestling reference on you. He's turning into the legend killer. He beat Durant last year. He beat Jokic. He might, I know I'm jinxing it maybe here, but might take down LeBron and Luka in the same series, and who knows where else they go. I mean,
they play Steph
next round.
Could be Steph. Like I'm saying, man, there's some Randy Orton. He's RKO at everybody. So it's fun as hell. Let's get into some of the controversy from this game, though. No shortage of that all weekend long. But even in this game, Redick was pretty damn pissed that Luka got tripped there by McDaniels, where he fell to the ground in the backcourt. They called the timeout. Yeah. So they can, contain or maintain control of the ball. But that then really led to that turnover when you think about it. Like, bad pass by LeBron, but it had to go into the front court because there's like a 1 second difference between the shot clock. I mean, it was going to be an 8-second violation. You can't go backcourt, otherwise you got to get over in a hurry. So he had to force it front court.
3 guys ran to the same spot.
Absolutely.
This I think would be. I think JJ would admit, not my best game. I thought JJ wasn't really doing much. He didn't play anybody. He didn't run plays. And like their
Yeah.
execution in a moment like that where they got to get an inbounds play, you got to have your best one. Get an open guy, not three guys converging at the same spot. It was a turnover waiting to happen.
Yeah. If there was a way to make LeBron more energetic, then JJ failed in that regard. Like, just to sit him. Because you could see, I mean, he missed a layup with 4 minutes left. He just looked tired. If there was any time you could do some body language inspection, it was LeBron looking tired on the bench. I mean, he was just gassed every time. You never really see LeBron tired, but he was truly, truly tired. And Luka also wasn't great in the regular season when it came to fourth quarters, came to second halves. He was getting worse as the game went on. Mm-hmm. It's not just because he's unfit, but also because of his injury and how he got there from the Mavs calf injury. So he just didn't play a lot of second half. So yeah, you could definitely look at that. There's no doubt.
And then, of course, the big overturned call was the one where Anthony Edwards drives it. I mean, he made a cut. DiVincenzo sort of handed it off to him, and then it looks like Ant slips. But while he's slipping, LeBron swipes down at the ball, and they say, on the floor, oh, Lakers ball, so they're gonna have a chance here. But then, Anthony right away, let's look at that. I think I got hit, and they awarded free throws after they overruled that he had lost the ball. Instead, there was a foul called on LeBron swiping down, like I said. Now LeBron says he got hand. The hand is part of the ball, and I think that overhead shot maybe shows a little wrist there as well.
The Hawkeye camera.
What a weekend
for the grainy overhead Hawkeye camera.
Oh, but you could.
It's a little crazy though to go to a replay of the God's eye view. Only that 6'8" tall referee could ever possibly call that kind of a foul.
Yeah.
No other human eye can see that.
Yeah.
That is kind of weird, I think.
Yeah.
I thought it was all hand.
Yes.
Live.
Right.
But then when you saw the camera, it was wrist.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. When you see that camera, the camera we never see until now. Yes, but in real time, I was like, oh, that's going to be Lakers ball. Because again, Anthony was also slipping,
yes.
And then obviously it's LeBron James. You have to factor in that. Maybe whether you want to agree or not, blew the one where was Luka tripped. Again, Redick and the Lakers think he was, but they didn't call that. So I thought, yeah, this is going to be Lakers ball, but that was huge. And then Ant got to go to the line, hits both free throws. Because he's got the clutch gene. So
also crazy that the proximate foul rule exists because it went against the Timberwolves last year.
That's right.
So that's why Anthony Edwards knew. He's like, review this one. This is what we went to the commission for last year.
Yeah. That's a good point. What a game. What a game. So obviously game 5 back in LA. I know you had the Wolves in this series. Do either of you think that the Lakers can still get in this series, or is this something that wraps up here on whenever they play? When do they play? Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't remember.
I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a nice gap here for them because the Lakers don't seem to have enough guys. They're playing 5-6 guys.
Yeah, they're getting worn down over the course of games. So over the course of series, I think is even more so. A little bit extra rest, I think, is advantageous for the Lakers. Mm-hmm. The series shifts back home. But I would imagine at the very least this ends Timberwolves in 6 if they don't come out and hit 23s again like they did in game 1.
Yeah, it's a strange one because the Lakers, they got their best performance offensively in game 4. This is their highest scoring game of the series by far. And
it was Rui Hachimura's best game of the series.
Yeah, it came through.
It was
clutch too.
Reeves had a pretty damn impressive second half after going scoreless in the first. And we didn't even talk about it, but got a pretty damn good look in the corner, all things considered.
Yeah.
To tie the game up.
Oh yeah.
Some strange defense there, I thought, from the Wolves, but that obviously didn't hit that one. But it's just, it's just the 5 guys that JJ tried.
Yeah, and it would help to have somebody out there that's big to throw out there. It would help instead of LeBron having to play 24 minutes at the center or whatever you call it, Dorian Finney-Smith at the center, all those guys. He's always had somebody with a little bit of height just to play some minutes. Whether it's Timofey Mozgov or Tristan Thompson or JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard or in the good days Anthony Davis, they just need somebody.
And then to keep going with that, even think about Luka and his success last year against this very Wolves team. He had a rim running big out there a lot of the time. How many lobs did he have in that series?
He needs somebody to set him a screen.
And that is they just don't have it.
He should be able to get by Naz Reid, but he can't.
No.
He literally can't right now. He needs somebody to set him a screen, and LeBron needs a big guy to save his body for fourth quarters.
Yeah.
Mark Williams. Is that a guy?
Ooh,
No,
ooh.
just kidding.
Rescinded.
Alex Len, remember that time he played?
He's on the roster, yeah.
Yeah, he is there. I seen him.
Yeah, he's somehow worse than Jackson Hayes. Anything else from this one? Man, what a game. What a weekend. What?
Great weekend
The
of
basketball was
basketball.
fun.
Great weekend
Absolutely.
of reviews.
Yeah, well,
Great weekend of missed calls.
Great weekend
That
for
would
the
be my
Hawkeye.
main concern, yeah.
Yeah.
great weekend for Hawkeye. Not the superhero. Well, maybe it was too. I don't know. Is he in a movie?
Does he make,
Is
a
there a new Marvel?
Thunderbolts appearance? Hilarious trailer, man. Thunderbolts are so anonymous, the characters in it, that they have to put the names of the characters in the trailer.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know who Taskmaster is?
No.
Didn't think so.
Yeah. It sounds like you're not going to watch Thunderbolts in theater.
Who knows, maybe.
You probably will.
I love the theater experiment. Experience?
Experience.
I love experiments too, yeah.
All right, well, let's go. And sticking in the West here, we're going back to a few great Saturday games. Aaron Gordon saved the Nuggets, probably saved their series, their season, with a buzzer-beating dunk at the end of Game 4. Denver tried to give this one away. They led by 22. They were up 87-65 early in the fourth quarter. Then they started turning the ball over. Here come the Clippers. But then you got some heroics from Jokic in the final minute or so. And then he, of course, airballs his final shot attempt. But
Perfect.
Aaron Gordon, yep, perfect spot. And just after obviously some lengthy reviews, I guess still people think, did he get it off in time? But you can be the judge. I think he did when you go to the old Hawkeye camera, that it just leaves his fingertips before that thing lights up on the backboard. But what an absolute bonkers play. And we'll show it to you a couple times here on YouTube.
It's so nice that Jokic missed a shot like that because it's in the absolute perfect spot. If it hits off the rim,
Oh, yeah,
he's
totally.
not getting a dunk.
Yeah.
But we're questioning whether or not he got it off in time when it's a dunk that's already in the frickin' rim.
Rules are rules, Tass.
I know it's maybe touching his fingers. I'm glad that it ended the game. I'm glad it did, and that it wasn't on his fingertips. Glad he doesn't have Rajon Rondo fingernails, because I guess it could have been on there.
Yeah.
But it was just an incredible play. I'm just glad it was a dunk, and that we don't say, "Oh no, his finger was touching it as his fingers were in the
Through the
frickin' rim."
yeah.
That would be super weird. But yeah, they went to the Sombor Shuffle, as he said post game, and the Sombor Shuffle worked out perfectly. That was a great ending to a great fourth quarter. As you said, the Clippers coming back.
Oh my God, running out the 1-1-3 zone. We saw
worked.
multiple possessions of a 1-1-3 zone, which the Clippers almost never run zone. And they're like, let's give it a go. And got them back into it. And Denver was not scoring on it for the most part until Jokic took over sort of.
Yeah,
right
the
there.
Clippers comeback was awesome. It was
Yeah.
the zone defense. I personally don't know if I would call that a 1-1-3.
Well,
it's a 2-3 with guys picking up. But Bogdanovich
there's
was
some staggering.
awesome.
There's a guy up higher, but you're right.
Well,
okay.
yeah, it's because he's picking the ball handler up. Doesn't matter. Bogdanovich versus Jokic.
Yeah, that was
Hilarious.
cool. Yeah.
Like, Jokic couldn't get the ball because Bogdanovich is guarding him. Obviously, those guys are Serbian teammates on offense. They were just so smart about the way they were attacking the Nuggets. Like, if Jokic was in drop, Harden was going to the rim. If they got a cross match, Kawhi Leonard gets Michael Porter Jr. on him after a miss. Kawhi goes down into the post. The Clippers just played it awesomely, and then it kind of came down to Jokic versus Zubats the last three possessions.
Yeah.
The first one was an offensive foul. The second one was the exact same play. It was a defensive foul this time, and then it was an air ball. Air ball is an advantage for the offense because it's hard to box out on an air ball because you're not actually sure where it's going to go. You're thinking maybe it's going to come off a little harder. Aaron Gordon in the exact right place. There are screenshots where the LED lights are half lit up.
Yeah.
And he's touching it.
Yeah. I mean, there's
crazy.
that one. Did we even? Sorry, JD, I didn't notice you did have the Hawkeye one going. Like, this is the one that really, I think if you're a Nuggets fan, or even just if you're like a neutral fan, you're like, okay, yeah, that is good. At least, again, this crazy camera angle.
Yeah.
It does appear, once that lights up, that it's off his fingertips with his hand in the rim there on the right hand.
So there's enough frames per second. I know people were complaining. My father-in-law, who's a commercial editor, said, "Come on, we need faster cameras." And then, bang! Here comes the Hawkeye. The Hawkeye came through. It's something that every organization uses, front office use for analytics, but we never see it ever. We don't see it until
Not until
definitely not for
situations like
review
this.
calls.
Yeah.
until we need it. And the Nuggets were maxing out their guys. We talk about the Lakers playing so many guys, or playing their guys so many minutes. The Nuggets
Did the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All five of their guys played 42 minutes.
Yeah.
All five starters. And they just used a little Peyton Watson. But I guess they were gassed. I don't know what the rules are at times, because you mentioned Jokic. He gets called for the offensive foul. Then the defense gets called for the foul. It's so hard to tell.
Yeah.
Here
And that's
right
one
now,
where he was screaming. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
He was furious when the call went against him on the offensive foul. Then when he got the call the second time, he was even more mad.
Yeah.
He's like, "What? Come on!" I guess maybe on the first one he kind of like had Zubac's arm a little
He
bit.
100% did.
It was still a foul on Zubac's too.
Yeah,
Zubac's
but
hit him,
he was
so.
grabbing him way more on the first one than he did the second one.
Yeah, he locked him in there, Harden style.
But this is the most angry we've ever seen Jokic. Just in general, period. They need him. They needed him, obviously, to save this frickin' series. You can see he is their motion on that team.
Yeah,
He's
I'd be
their guy.
angry too if I was doing 2 jobs and only getting paid for one. He's their best player and he's their coach now. This
their
guy is
coach.
coaching them.
Yeah, he
he's
did.
Bill Russell. It's amazing.
Hey,
It's pretty easy, man. Give me the ball.
Well,
that's coaching.
He's
Give me
doing
the ball.
more than that. He's literally telling DeAndre Jordan, "Hey, you sub in. Hey, you go over here. We're moving this. We're running this play." It feels like he's coaching them.
They're gonna run a lob. Tall guy, get in. That's essentially what he said. And David Adams is like, yeah, you're right.
What a series!
What an ending. What an ending. The Clippers didn't deserve to be in this game. It sure felt like they weren't playing hard enough in the third quarter. This was a game where they were sort of disappearing. That's when the Nuggets pulled it off.
Yeah.
And that monstrous lead. Harden wasn't there in this game, and then that fourth quarter was so fun. They got to pull off Chris Dunn because he's not hitting shots. Bogdan Bogdanovic, you come in, and he was so good against Jokic.
Yeah, he was.
And that's also why you just don't know what the rules are, because Bogdan was so physical with Jokic, not letting him get the ball. He was all over him.
You can do it when you're a smaller guy.
Yeah,
Against
that helps.
a giant like that.
Big time.
You can just be so
very
handsy,
true.
so physical, and like
that
they're
guy's
not gonna
not
call it every time.
Yeah, and he's not flopping. Jokic isn't like,
No.
oh, he's hitting me. No, he's just taking. He's absorbing every little part of it. And and the putback from Bogdan was awesome. So he was one of their best 5 guys. So they played them. It's such an odd team because Ben Simmons is sitting there, and then Batum's sitting there, and then Derek Jones Jr., a guy who got to the finals last year, is sitting there. They've got so many guys. And they called upon the right one to sort of get them there. It's a great frickin' series.
Oh my God! This is the third game in the series decided by 3 or fewer points. I mean, this could have been a Clippers sweep. I mean, Westbrook saved their ass in the game 1.
Yep.
He went bonkers, and then obviously we had another close game, but the Clippers got that one, and then this one. I mean, it should be. I mean, really 3-1. I guess it would have gone to overtime. It was a tied game, right?
Tied game, yeah.
Who knows what happened in the extra 5 minutes? But obviously the Clippers were rolling at that point. It looked like the Nuggets were running out of steam, just like you said the Lakers were. I think that's such a fun dilemma for, I guess, Coach Adelman or Coach Jokic, whatever one. When you get the big lead there in the third quarter, it is well, what do? Do we sit our guy, our superstar, for a couple minutes, try and get him a quick blow here, and then bring him back in to close it? Or what they seemed to do to me was like, we can end this maybe in the first 3 or 4 minutes. We're up so big that then we can rest our guy for final 5 or 6 minutes and then lead that into game 5. And it obviously sort of backfired, but
Definitely what they tried, though.
yeah, that's what they tried. We gotta put them away. We gotta get this game out of hand so we can get the scrubs in. But
And it felt like
didn't work.
I'm saying this from the outside, but they must have felt like this is our series right here. If we lose this thing, come on, we can't go down 3-1.
Yeah, I think Reddick felt the same way too.
Yeah,
and the Lakers.
big time, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah,
from this one?
36 and 21 for Jokic. I don't think we said it. What a line. What a line. And it felt like, he played pretty good. He can still go up another level. I do wonder if a Jamal Murray game is incoming soon.
It's coming, baby.
21 points, 23 points, 23 points, 13 only in game 4. But like you're saying, Tass, Chris Dunn's minutes are dwindling. He's gone 31, 29, then 22 and 21 in games 3 and 4. Hasn't played the last 2 fourth quarters. Bogdanovic was awesome, no doubt about it, but I don't know if I would trust him to stick Jamal Murray for an entire game.
right.
Nuggets are getting a lot more bold about leaving Chris Dunn open as well, so his minutes might get slashed even more, and that would be advantage Murray, which would be huge for the Nuggets to get him off the court, I think.
We also had, I guess, pretty rare scuffle that ended with 6 guys, I think it was, getting technical fouls.
That was a long list of names.
Yeah, I think it was 6, 3 on each side.
Yeah,
They sort of just cancel each other out. This was the one where Harden, who did
Christian
Harden?
Brown.
He got into it, Christian Brown, right?
Yeah.
And then Aaron Gordon did not like that. He kept screaming in to push Harden, and then everybody started shoving.
That probably helped out the Nuggets. It woke them up. I mean, it was right after that their third quarter was awesome.
It's true.
That was their season.
Trying to punk us.
That peeved off Jokic, I guess. I don't know. Even though Jokic wasn't involved.
Who was the ref?
Oh,
the ref
God,
on
in
the,
that one?
on the broadcast. I don't know what it was, but he said no closed fist punches. I like that. The perfect 6 offsetting technicals.
Yeah.
You think like in that scenario they're like, all right, we got to get an even number on both sides here because both sides are at fault and we don't want one team getting the advantage otherwise. So 3 on each. Nobody was punching, even though it looked like Harden maybe did.
Harden got pretty damn close to a punch.
Maybe he did like a
Claw?
move.
It looked like you pouring a little Tabasco when we were just kind of the prod open a little bit, but that was a punch. I didn't see it live, and I thought, oh, this guy must be getting ejected because I saw that play. That was a punch of some sort, but it was sort of open.
Have you seen the? I assume a lot of Clippers fans pulling the footage that you can see Michael Porter Jr. leaving the bench. In the background, he comes on the floor. He never makes it over to the scuffle, but oh boy, I got to suspend him.
Good.
I don't think.
Glad they didn't suspend.
I don't think
a guy can step onto the
guy's
floor.
allowed to step 5 feet.
He did better. One-armed Mike.
He did.
He did better.
He
for
did
sure.
one-armed Mike. Yeah, prison Mike. All right, let's keep it going to Steph Curry. Incredible game. He heated up. No Jimmy Butler in Game 3, but Curry had 36 points. Warriors beat the Rockets 104-93 on Saturday. They have the 2-1 lead. This guy put on the cape, TK. 36 points, like I said, 9 assists, 7 boards. He had a couple block shots even.
Yeah.
And, it was like they needed all of it to get past this, obviously, defensive-minded Rockets team.
Yeah, it's fun to be wrong a lot of times. I was wrong a lot of times this weekend, including saying I don't think the Warriors are going to win a game if Jimmy Butler doesn't play. He didn't play. But they got Steph Curry, and this guy is awesome. He's averaging 29 points a game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 53 from the field, 45 from 3, 93 at the line. And this is allegedly the team that has the best defense to stop Steph Curry.
Right.
People were telling you all about Amen Thompson's stats going up against Curry before the game, but it's different in the playoffs. I thought it was pretty interesting. Jonathan Kuminga gets the start in this one with no Butler and Quentin Post. I thought that was a great call by Steve Kerr because it led to so many pick and rolls for Steph Curry, making Şengün defend in space. That got Curry untracked. That got Quentin Post some buckets. And then late in the game, Gary Payton II was the role guy for Curry playing alongside Şengün, and he was just awesome catching and getting to the rim. Hit a 3 from the corner as well. Had the dagger reverse dunk.
Yep.
Curry put the team on his back and said, we're not losing this game. And they didn't lose this game because they had Curry. That's all it was.
Yep.
Yeah, and him being so patient, working through all that physical play where they are just grabbing him. They're grabbing him in so many ways. Pre-possession, whether the ball's ready to be inbound, they got an arm around him. They're doing everything. He's trying to get loose. Dylan Brooks is smacking his hands down after his shots. Just get those. You can't shoot with those things. But he was being so patient. He only hit 1 3 in the first half. And then he just kept going. He kept going. The motor kept going. That's what he does. He didn't let the defense get into his head. It's such a mental fight for that guy that he keeps winning. He also blocked that Fred VanVleet shot. We mentioned a couple blocks. I mean, he had to get into him. Fred VanVleet pushed him off a little bit with the shoulder, but he stayed on him and blocked his shot in the second quarter. That was awesome. And as the game went on, he got hotter and hotter. So he got a little bit more free to hit 4 threes in the second half. That one with 3 minutes left over Jalen Green. I mean, Jalen Green is like on it.
Yeah.
If you go frame by frame, if you go on the Hawkeye, you see how close Jalen Green is to blocking that ball. It almost looks like he touches it with his fingertips. But Steph Cash to make it a 6-point game, I believe, or maybe a 9-point game, whatever it was just very, very important to go along with 5 assists in the fourth quarter. So he did everything.
Well, I loved it. Finally, the Rockets like anybody but this guy. And then, yeah, you're right. Gary Payton II finding the spots. He scored 11 points in the fourth quarter, GP2, and I think he had like 9 straight over that little 2-minute stretch. And a lot of them, I mean, the 1-3 was really impressive, but like they were wide open because, again, he's finding the open space because all eyes are on Curry and take away him. But just Johnny on the spot. So, yeah, he was good. I thought Buddy Hield kept the Warriors in the game in the first half. Like the one guy that was sort of like scoring for them. And then he hit 2 big threes in the second half as well. You already brought up Post. GP2, and then Draymond Green, I mean, stuffed the stat sheet with, like, as he normally does, 8 boards, 7 points, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. So it was all defensive-minded Draymond stuff there. But great win. This is a fun series, and they go again tonight.
Yep.
They do. That's obviously a huge game. Probably feels like the Rockets season is now on the line.
Yeah, they got to play better. Jalen Green, extremely quiet. Alperen Şengün, extremely quiet. Should be scoring in the post. They should be scoring in the paint. I shouldn't say post. I should say paint. I mean, they're bigger. They should be able to get by Quentin Post. They should have way better numbers than they're 19 of 48 in the paint. That ain't good enough. I mean, you should just be able to score against this team. And so there's
Well,
somebody.
Draymond's pretty good.
Draymond's good at defending the post.
Draymond's pretty good. Not a lot of shooting for the Rockets out there, so there's a lot of guys in there.
Oh, yeah, that's the big question. In the future, in the offseason, if it gets to that, I mean, can Amen Thompson and Alperen Şengün play together like this?
Right.
I mean, they
Just
both
'cause of lack of shooting
they're both
from the
not
distance.
shooting.
Yeah.
So that's a big question.
Let's get some more Jabari Smith going around here.
He can shoot.
12 points, 5 boards, hit 3 threes. Like, he can shoot. I think Eason has played pretty well for the Rockets, but I would like to get more shooting on the court if I can, so that Şengün has more of an opportunity inside, because it's a Draymond post-up on, or a Şengün post-up on Draymond is not like a winning proposition, I don't think, for the Rockets at this point.
Yeah, am I crazy, or did Udoka say either Eason or Jabari is starting game 4? I thought I read that somewhere, but maybe I'm making that up in my head.
Just jacked your
I'm
computer.
looking for it, but maybe not. I thought he was switching it up here tonight, but we'll see.
They could go for a switch, I think.
And Jimmy Butler, I guess, is TBD. I don't think he's officially ruled out here. I mean, not playing game 3, but has he had enough time to recover? Is the glute okay?
How's the glute? How's the contusion?
Or can they give him even more time now because they got that big win from Curry? I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Right. And just let them tie it up, it feels like. Obviously, Curry was awesome. But they're going to need Jimmy. I think even though it sounded dumb when you said it, Trey, that they aren't going to win without Jimmy. Obviously, these guys were great. I've never seen Buddy Hield get into a game more than that. I mean, he was physical. I don't know if everybody can understand what he's saying with that huge mouth guard, but he was talking a ton, and he was hitting shots. And to see him 17 for him and the Gary Payton flashbacks to the great Golden State Warriors days of a few years ago where he was the center roller. So those guys were awesome. 17 and 16 from them, and then they kind of fell off. Podziemski still hasn't found his role and found his flow, I guess you'd call it. They put Moody to the bench to change things up. I don't know. There's still questions. I don't know if they can do it again.
The final series in the Western Conference that we can briefly touch on here is over because the Thunder swept the Grizzlies out of the first round over the weekend. What a weird series when you think about it. OKC won the first 2 games by a combined 70 points. Then they overcame an insane 29-point deficit in Game 3 after Ja Morant left with an injury. And then Ja doesn't play in Game 4 on Saturday. And SGA and the Thunder sealed the deal. Got a little too close for their liking, I'm sure, at the end. But they took care of business. SGA 38 points on 13 of 24 shooting. His best game by far in the series.
Yeah, when it came down to it, as you said, it was super close. Shea sealed it with the standard Shea slippery step back cash. This was his best game. There's no doubt. He hasn't been playing incredibly well through the first 3 games. He just says the ball hasn't been going in, which sure feels that way. He also just took a lot fewer threes in this game. He only took 1 in the first half. Only took 4 overall when he was averaging 8 through the first 3 games, so he was getting to his spots a little bit more. Cash from everywhere. He started with hitting his first 7 shots. Mid-range was there, being slithery like he can. So to see him do that, 1 turnover for him, 8 for OKC, that's not a lot.
And OKC is going to get some time off here because they're waiting on the 4-5 matchup, which we know is at least going 6. Feels like one that is going to go 7, the way that series going between the Nuggets and Clippers.
Right.
So they'll have like a whole week here, Trey, to just wait and see who they're going to be playing.
They don't even have anybody injured.
Nope.
They got a deep team.
Yep.
What are they just going to be doing? Playing 5-on-5 against each other? Be a better series than this one. Like I said before, this will be OKC bench versus OKC starters, more competitive, I think, than against the Grizzlies, though they did make it a game in this one. It was nice to see Shea have a breakout game. I thought clinching things with the jumper, because I was like, has this been an impressive first-round series for the Thunder? I think J-Dub was awesome. I think that's probably the most encouraging thing coming out of this. Chet was pretty good.
Yep.
Their defense was smothering, literally smothering the Grizzlies. They won a game by 51, but they shot like 31% from 3 for the series. Shea had, I think, 1 good game. He had some productive games, but Game 4 was certainly his best game. Kind of a warm-up series for the Thunder, but they didn't knock my socks off in the first round, I didn't think. Caruso, I think, was awesome. Like, he's the guy. J-Dub and Caruso, I come away from this series remembering. That's about it.
Yeah. J-Dub averaged 23.3 points and 5.3 assists in the sweep. And he put up, I think, those exact numbers in Game 4. I think he went for 23 and 5 there in Game 4. So, yeah, he's looked good. I mean, I think some of that may speak to the Grizzlies, too. Like, yes. Unfortunately, especially when Ja Morant went down. Now, he said, we had figured them out. That's what Josh said, after obviously talking with the media.
Yeah.
Like, we had figured them out. Man, we were up huge when I was rolling. This was going to be a series. He was pretty confident it was going to be 2-2 headed back to OKC. But
Yeah. Not an overwhelming series, but definitely Jalen Williams' best series, even though it's a quick sweep. I thought Chet had lots of good moments. The 3-point shooting was awesome. He was shooting 42% from three. He hit a lot of them. And I'm a loser, so I like Isaiah Hartenstein's floaters and the passing. It was there in this series. So they showed what they're going to need in round 2 against Denver or the Clippers. Yeah, they are chilling. It's going to be a while.
yeah, and we got four
Excuse
more.
me, that's me.
Okay, we got 4 more series to still tackle here, but let's put to the side talking about the Grizzlies and sort of their future, because I think they got some crazy decisions here to make with this roster.
Yeah.
Maybe the long runway has run out for Memphis, right? A couple years ago, you don't change anything. A scrappy young bunch on the rise, but I think that's starting to come to the end with the contracts that these guys are getting. So let's get to the Grizzlies maybe later this week.
They also finished the year, their last 17 games against teams 500 and above, 1-16.
Yeah. Let's go to the East, and we'll start with Sunday's game between the Knicks and Pistons. And there was a no call on the final play. No call on Josh Hart, challenging Tim Hardaway Jr.'s 3-point attempt right in the corner. David Guthrie right there. He's like 3 feet away looking at it, and he swallows the whistle, and Pistons fans are pissed. And look, they're probably right to be, because after the game, even Guthrie had to say, damn, my bad. That was probably a foul on Hart. He bumped him there, and Hardaway didn't really lean into them like we see some 3-point shooters do. And Hart was in his space there, but that was the game at the end. I mean, he goes to the line. I feel pretty confident Hardaway Jr.'s at least probably going to hit 2. He's like an 85% free throw shooter. Right. He would have got 3 attempts, but damn. What a weird game, because this was like a rugby match for a majority of it, and then the shot-making task was unreal from both sides down the stretch, and then this like controversial no call in the corner.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson was awesome down the stretch. Best cat shot I've seen, I think, ever. The fading over the baseline. That was amazing.
That was nice.
And then the mean step back 3 got us to this point where we're talking about a freaking referee's name that you'd never... We've said this referee's name more than any referee, it feels like.
Ref Bay, David Guthrie.
Oh, God, David Guthrie. I just mean specifically in this moment. It just sucks because he was right there. Yeah. That being said, I didn't think it was a foul live because, as you said, Tim Hardaway didn't really go into it all that much. And even though David Guthrie is right there, Tim Hardaway is in between him and Josh Hart. It's kind of like when a defender comes to help out on a driver and he jumps and the driver goes right into his chest. So it looks like he kind of just jumped straight up. Josh Hart looks like he doesn't really propel off of Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway doesn't propel either. He just absorbs them and they kind of go straight up. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm evaluating and analyzing a freaking foul that it was called, that it should have been called. But also it's at the end of the game. So there are some that don't get called. But it is unfortunate.
And in addition to that, some people saying calling it there would have been completely out of character for how they called the rest of this game.
Yeah.
Which was not a lot because they let a lot go on both sides.
Everywhere.
Like I said, it was physical as hell. So then people were like, well, you always say just call it consistent. So maybe they did. I mean, even they're admitting he fouled him. He did foul him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he did.
Foul.
It's incredible that ball somehow spit its way over to Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
I don't know how it even got there. And the whole part of this is Cade Cunningham had a great look at his jumper.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he got the space on OG. It was not really challenged all that much, and it just didn't drop. And then that ball somehow found its even way to Tim Hardaway Jr. But, yeah, Hart got away with one. He fouled him on that shot attempt.
Yeah, maybe he should have flopped. Yeah, honestly,
that's
Tim
the
Hardaway
thing.
Jr. not going down maybe cost them the call, right? Because, I'm with Tass. In full speed, it definitely looks like there's some contact for sure, but maybe you're thinking it's marginal because Tim Hardaway Jr. kind of takes it okay.
Yeah.
He finishes his shot. He's not kicking. I mean, I guess he kicks his leg out a little bit. He stumbles, but if he would have fallen over, maybe he gets the call. But then once you see it in slow-mo, you're like, oh, yeah. And I'm sure if they showed us this in Hawkeye, I mean, it would look brutal.
Straight bumping him.
Yeah.
Damn. What else?
Knicks got a lot of these, though, huh?
Okay.
Just saying. Last year the Knicks, I think, got very similar calls in their playoff series. I think they've won 3 playoff games with last 2-minute reports that should have gone the other way in the past 2 seasons.
And
Happens to every team.
it does. And JB Bickerstaff has to go and complain about it, but at the same time say, I kind of like how they called the game. Like, we like to play physical.
Right.
And we want some things to go uncalled. And there were so many uncalled. It's just terrible for Pistons fans,
Yeah,
obviously.
that's
What
hard.
they're watching. That was their series and their season, it
Essentially.
feels like.
Yeah.
That it came down to this. They obviously had that incredible third quarter and taking the lead and playing incredibly well. They just couldn't finish the job, unfortunately.
And I mean, a big part of it was just the shots Brunson and Cat were hitting. You guys already went through Cat's incredible shots, like the 2 threes and then that one over the backboard probably saved them, honestly. But Brunson, 15 of his 32 in the fourth, clutch player of the year. This guy coming through again. He's just like amazing, and he had the whole injury part too, where he comes back and you're like, oh, guy's hobbling around a little bit, still hitting big shots. Those guys completely took over, got them there, got them back in the game.
Yeah.
But I think it was like, again, Tim Hardaway Jr. like was having a bad stretch, and then he had that one bounce around and in, and then that sort of got him going. He had a couple big ones. Cade had a big jumper on the baseline. The shot making for a game that was really physical again through like the first 44 minutes, the final 4 minutes. If you didn't see it, go watch it. Like the shots these guys are making on both sides was unreal. Even though it's a low-scoring game, and you're going to be like, what offense? No, trust me, the last 4 or 5 minutes, these guys were hitting shot after shot after shot.
Yeah, and the Knicks were ready to go from the get-go. Jalen Brunson got everybody involved. He was the last guy to hit a shot from the starters. Everybody else got involved. And I think if you want to, in hindsight, look at the Pistons and look what they did in this series, you let Cat start going at the beginning of Game 3 when he had those catch and shoots in three-point land, and he has not stopped since that. And I think the Pistons could also be upset just about the defense. You could see JB Bickerstaff yelling at his guys. They weren't ready from the get-go. You could hear him coming back from a commercial. They show JB what he's saying, and he's yelling, Ron! Ron! I mean, this is after a timeout. He's yelling at Ron Holland to go guard, was it Miles McBride at the three-point line? Why does he not know where to guard him? And Miles McBride got an open three. So they didn't come out of the get-go hard enough. That's a problem, obviously. They made it back because their season was on the line, but still.
Even that first three Cat got in the fourth quarter, it felt like Duran just kind of lost track of him. He was helping way too far over, and great read by Brunson because I think they were trying to get OG in the post.
Yes.
He just chucks it to the other side. Cat knocks it down. Then his second three, he went goofy arms on that one. That's the move, man. When he's really feeling it, the arms come out, and he just looks so much like Goofy at that point.
That's why they made Goofy.
And the Larry Bird shot over the backboard,
That was
or at least close to being.
unbelievable, bro.
That was an insane shot from
awesome.
him. And they needed it. They were like, I believe they were trailing at that point.
That gave him the lead, the 1-point lead.
Oh my God! Again, wild shots. Unfortunate no call that they admitted right away. What a weird thing if you're a ref. Like don't call it. You go back into the locker room, fire it up. Ah, crap. Gotta go talk to the pool reporter. Say I botched that one. Oh, it's tough for Pistons fans. This is a 2-2 series going back to Madison Square Garden. Like, wow.
Good. Yeah.
Be very spicy then. But, yeah, maybe they got still some fight left in them. Who knows?
I do like Isaiah Thomas, Ben Wallace, and Chauncey Billups all sitting next to each other. That's a great feature of the playoffs, bringing back the legends to sit courtside. Great stuff.
And then Isaiah Thomas was flying, or I guess he flew from here because he was working. I saw him on NBA TV same weekend. Then he was working. Then he went to Detroit afterwards.
There you go.
But that Towns shot was huge. They were actually down 4 when he hit that shot.
Yeah, so he misses that. I mean, that's going to be very difficult.
Then he splashes the 3 to give him the lead.
Yeah, that's it. Anything else on this one? A fun series. I mean,
This is good. Good stuff.
I mean, I know the physicality has gone up against. It's the playoffs, so as it should in all of these series. But this one, more than the others. Even just the way these two teams play.
Yep.
They play physical, and they let them play for a majority of this game, and it was fun as hell.
We're lucky. Maybe we're lucky that Isaiah Stewart is out right now.
Ooh.
These might be going over the edge if he were on
That's
the court.
interesting.
It's
possible.
Scrappy, no doubt, in these games. Players are going at each other. It's getting chippy every single time, but it's just basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't boxing, Isaiah.
It's like heated when Tobias Harris is talking shit to Karl Anthony Towns. Like they're tired of each other and like they're amped up. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Those two guys. Tobias Harris.
Couple of mild-mannered guys.
Yeah. So maybe we're better off. Isaiah Stewart's not there, and maybe Dennis Schroeder's better off that foul happened at the end, because at the end of the third quarter he just screwed up. They literally could have had 2 points. He had that steal, 6 seconds left. Instead, he passes it off, and the bucket happens. I don't know what the Hawkeye says, but it
that
happened
was late.
right after the buzzer. No, it was
Yeah.
late. It was late. No
But
Hawkeye
you're right. He
needed.
should have just laid it in.
okay.
Oh, dude, those 2 points.
Yeah.
It's kind of important. You know, just score, man.
He was contributing as well. And
When you said
playing
mouthy, I was
Brunson.
thinking that guy because that guy was mouthy. Everybody
yeah.
was mouthy.
Yeah.
And it was great. It's an awesome series.
Let's go to Tatum and Brown pacing the Celtics past the Magic 107-98. They take a 3-1 series lead. This has been a very physical series as well. I thought it was a little more chill in Game 4 there on Sunday.
yeah.
But Tatum was pretty special, TK. 37 points, 14 boards, living at the free throw line, 14 of 14. When he's got it going, he shows you like he can just score at every level, right? Because
Yes.
he's bullying by Banchero on drives. He's showing off the fancy footwork, or he's doing this post work against like a Gary Harris Jr. And then if Wendell Carter Jr. is matched up on him, he's dancing at the 3-point line. In addition to getting to the free throw line, he just showed again like all facets of scoring, and he was wicked awesome.
Yeah, wicked hardcore. This guy was 6 points in the paint. He had another 4 mid-range jumpers. Went to the line 14 times. 14 rebounds as well. Tatum was like a big guy, basically playing this game.
Yeah.
3 of 10 from 3, not great, but he's gonna take them. My dad was getting a little upset. My dad's a fake Celtics fan right now.
Oh,
interesting.
Well, my stepbrother lives in Boston. He's a real Celtics fan, so they're
by proxy.
fans-in-law,
Sure.
if you will. Second generation fans. I don't know what you would call it, but he's like, oh man, Tatum. This guy settles for too many threes. He does. But he also goes to the line, and he also gets in the lane, and he was just massive, I thought, in this game. Derek White, I thought, was also phenomenal. The Magic are a great defensive team. It's not uncommon to see them shut down 2 actions from the Celtics, and then the ball finds its way to Derek White, and the guy's going to make the exact right play at the right time, whether it be scoring, shooting a 3, or setting somebody else up. I just think he is such an awesome third option to have, especially with Drew Holiday missing some time right now. White was splendid.
Yeah, and this was Kristaps Porzingis' best game. He helped out. He had 19 points. Definitely his best game. He's just been off. He hasn't been able to shoot the 3 ball. And that put-back dunk on his own miss, where he had a second jump, get up like that. You don't expect that from Kristaps Porzingis. Was big. And to see him come alive, I mean, he really hasn't had a good series.
No.
But when you mentioned Tatum and Brown, and they need a little help without Drew Holiday, but Derek White was awesome, and then Kristaps Porzingis was really big, and Al is always there. He's always helping out, so they have enough guys. There's no doubt. But it's good to see Kristaps Porzingis come alive.
I mean, credit to the Magic for like sticking around in this game. They got it to 91 with like 4 minutes to go. That's when Tatum really took over. He sort of single-handedly outscored them the rest of the way. And that's like, you just see it. And hopefully you're going to we'll be talking about this 4 or 5 years from now with Banchero as well. It's like, Tatum has been in a million of these games. Like, he's been to 2 finals, 5 Eastern Conference finals. Like,
He's played over 100 and he's like,
it's like 116,
games,
17
like that,
games. Yeah. Like experienced devastating Game 7 losses, huge wins at the buzzer that he's been on the positive and negative side for. So like, just like all these reps. And my point is like, Banchero has had an amazing series, like a really good series. And like, again, flash forward 3, 4, whatever it is years from now, hopefully he's got some more playoff experience and he'll be the one sort of closing a game like this against good teams. That's like all I keep thinking about. It's like, oh yeah, he might be you in a couple of years. Just the experience factor.
Yeah, he keeps putting up points. I mean, I keep thinking about Franz Wagner as the best Magic player in this series, even though numbers-wise it's definitely been Paolo Banchero. But you could see Franz Wagner growing. It feels like he's growing into himself, even though he hasn't been shooting the 3 ball well. The way he's driven at so many guys over and over and over, including Kristaps Porzingis. He has no problem shooting over monsters, playmaking. He looks like a different player. He looks like a modern day player. The way he's creating and driving and scoring. So
if the Magic just get a guard that can score, it's a very good team. They have an identity defensively. They obviously have some star players, an all NBA guy in Paolo, and then just get some backcourt scoring, some 3-point shooting.
Yeah,
hell, add Derek White to this team, and you're like, oh my god, they're really good, that type of thing. So.
Honestly, Derek White is the perfect fit for this team. I saw that Corey Joseph, he had 12 points, and that's the most by a guard this far into the series for the Orlando
Corey Joseph,
Magic.
too, we're talking about.
Cole Anthony had 0 points in this one. He's got 8 for the series.
Yeah. And like Suggs would, of course, help on, even offensively at this point would help them. But yeah, that's crazy. Corey Joseph. Good old Canadian boy. Don't get me wrong.
Big 12.
No, that's not even a boy. That's a man. He's old now.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Hey, man, he's 53% from the field, 41 from 3.
He's been great.
Yeah, he's got 25 points and 12 assists through 4 games.
Nobody else is averaging double digits besides Banchero
Those
and
two?
Wagner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they need something.
Horford was great
yeah.
defensively, and he did get a chance to almost get in a fight, right? It was Wendell Carter Jr., I think, had a big-time foul, and Al wasn't taking it. He's got his antennas up for anything that Wendell Carter Jr. is doing.
Yes.
That's possibly skirting the rules. So I think that's pretty funny. It's like he's focusing specifically on this guy. And then I like Porzingis' stitches. It's like you can actually see all of the
Yeah.
stitches. He really looks like a monster.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like kind of a Frankenstein man.
And I'm glad you brought up like Horford trying to keep Wendell Carter Jr. in check. Your guy in the instigator draft, KCP got another point for you.
Yeah.
He got a tech, did he not?
But it was a double tech with Jayson Tatum.
That's okay.
It's okay, but it's also Trey's guy of Tatum.
Oh, so
Yeah,
not
nice.
good for me. I
Nice.
mean,
Yeah.
you guys are getting points. I'm getting nothing.
Yeah, I stopped keeping track this weekend because there was just so many. I will tabulate from the 11 games
But
this past
KCP
weekend.
has he gotten you 3 points?
I think it's just 2.
Oh, I thought it was 3 at this point. We'll
Just
have to
one
check.
flagrant and one tech, I think.
Okay.
But there's so many
so.
out there. I just didn't keep track because there's like 1,000. Everybody's getting into it.
Yeah, there was some stat going around. It's like they're well on their way to set the record
I would think so.
for totality of like techs and
yeah.
flagrant stuff like that. Yeah, it's fiery. We love
It is.
Let's go to the Pacers rolling to victory in Game 4. Take the 3-1 lead over the Bucks, who lost Damian Lillard to injury. This guy just returns from blood clots, and then he crumpled to the floor last night in the first quarter. He grabbed his left leg. That was his other leg. Excuse me, with the blood clots, but didn't return. And I guess we're just waiting still on confirmation that it's a torn Achilles.
Yeah,
mean,
that's the
what
way
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
It's the way it seemed because of Lillard's reaction.
Yeah, non-contact. How he reacted. You can even see the ripple if you really look closely. I thought it's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it was going to matter in this game. Pacers played a damn near perfect offensive game. Like they shot 60% from the floor, hit a bunch of threes, barely turned the ball over. But this one's a wrap here, TK.
Yeah, I mean, we all. I think Tass booked the Bucks.
I did. Yeah, it was a mistake.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, maybe a different story if Lillard is Lillard himself, but even in the games that he's been playing, he's kind of been more of a decoy than real Damian Lillard. But the guy's 35 years old, probably going to miss an entire season. That's a real bummer for the Bucks and for Dame. And you're right. Offensively, this was an easy game for the Indiana Pacers. They just know how to generate shots against the Bucks. They can get anything they want inside. 36 assists on 50 makes. 50 makes is crazy. Like, that's a ridiculous number to see. They shot 60%. They made 18 threes. They just know where their shots are going to come from. They pass the ball. They get layups. And the Bucks just don't have the defensive personnel, really, to match up with the Pacers. They're trying to play a little bit smaller. But I thought the game was particularly over at the beginning of the third quarter. Bucks run a play for Kyle Kuzma. Great back cut. Wide open layup. Somehow misses it. Turns into a monster dunk for Miles Turner on the other end. Next play down, same thing happens. Kuzma.
I think
understand
Kuzma
the
might
vision,
be
man.
4 for 14 on layups in this series.
It feels like it. And he's like 14 for 14 falling down onto the court and letting a 5-on-4 happen the other way.
That too, yeah.
The idea was getting Kuzma in there means you can play more Giannis at the 5, which is something the Bucks need to do. But unfortunately, it means you got to play Kyle Kuzma. That's the catch-22.
Yeah, they were expecting Damian Lillard to have a good game because they are so desperate for anybody beside Giannis to do anything. In this series, Giannis has been the best player, but you could argue that the Pacers have the second best player, third best player, fourth best player, fifth best player, even the sixth
keep
best
going.
player.
Yeah.
Siakam, Halliburton, Miles Turner, who was a monster in this game
he was great.
on both ends.
Bounce back from a brutal game 3
yeah.
too.
But he had great 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He has been great. Andrew Nembhard, you can argue.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So the fifth best player in the series. I'd say Aaron Nesmith,
Yes.
sixth best player. You'd win it there. Then you're getting into the Mathurin / Obi Toppins. So
Yeah.
Toppin was been balling.
He has
was
been.
great yesterday. 3 threes.
go all the way down the list.
Yeah.
It's probably all Pacers.
Gary Trent Jr. saved the Bucks from a sweep here.
Yes, he did.
When
Game 3, yeah.
In Game 3, when he hit 9 threes, turned into Ray Allen for a night.
Yeah.
They're just outclassed. And good point on Miles Turner. I thought he was awesome because he was brutal in Game 3, went 1 and 9, but he had like 9 points in the first 4 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
And 23 overall. he just and he's a big dude, so he sets screens and he draws fouls and blocking shots, of course. He's an important player. He's sort of he's like a poor man's Porzingis, really, when I look at him for the Pacers and any hopes to get by the Cavs when they match up in the second round, which could be a fun series. Anything else from this one? As depressing as the Lillard injury is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team maybe like Memphis that we can talk about where they go from here.
They're going to be a star of the offseason, it does feel like.
Yeah. So we'll save that. But
Star of this game, I thought Tony Brothers. This guy, anytime something was happening where it looked like the Pacers and the Bucks might actually start fighting each other, figured out a way to go to review. At one point, he called a double delay of game so that he could go delay the game by looking at the review.
I think these refs, like Tony Brothers,
Crazy.
they need a rest.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
They're playing the full 48 every night.
I think so. And this is the way for them to take a little break.
That's what it must be.
I almost wonder, does he go outside and take a smoke break? We'll have to keep our eye on him. I know he's at the monitor probably, but no, I some of them do this. I'm convinced. They're just I'm tired. I'm winded. Let's just call something. Let's go look at something.
Let's go check this out over here. And Reggie Miller.
I think Tony Brothers.
I like this, splitting up the benches. I like this. You do, Reggie? You like reviews? The delay of game to delay the game didn't make sense.
Yeah, that's brutal. Brutal.
We're seeing a lot of firsts, man. Right? Al Horford was called for a delay of game for getting in the way of an inbound. He was guarding an inbounder, but he stepped out of bounds. He was way too close.
Yeah, he's too close.
You should never see that called. I mean, that was egregious stepping out of bounds.
You just reminded me, a sneaky one. I think they do it on purpose, but I don't know this for sure. And the Knicks come to mind because I saw them do it yesterday. When you do the whole thing, Brunson's gonna go inbound the ball, right? So everybody lines up, but then Brunson, he looks at it, and I think he's sort of assessing how the defense is playing and maybe what they're gonna do. And he's like, oh, hold on, I'm not inbounding. Mikhail, who's on the other side of the floor, hey, you come inbound. That takes 5 or 6 seconds, and honestly, it worked. Brunson got open. That was the one he missed right at the rim. Right at the end of the game.
Bad layup.
Trick him.
But that's that should be a delay of game.
It could easily
that
be
should be a delay of game because
yeah.
I know what you're doing, and that's smart. That is smart. No, you would come inbound it, and then it's you just kill another 5 or 6 seconds. And
there's lots.
Anyway.
There's lots available. Even the guy who goes to inbound the ball takes forever to get there.
Oh yeah,
forever.
Mosey on over. Don't touch it. Yeah.
They should have the fans should be counting that 10 seconds. I mean, that's 10 seconds instead of doing the free throw 10 seconds. Count that.
Start worrying about that.
I would love to hear fans counting seconds during a review. They'd be like,
that's a good idea.
128.
Yeah,
129.
It's counting sheep, man. You fall asleep doing that. All right, final series that we got to address here just quickly. Cavs go up 3-0 on Saturday. They handed the Heat their worst ever playoff loss, which was a little wild. Miami started okay, but then it was all Cleveland after a 33-5 run, I think, is what really took control for the Cavs. It was 62-42 at half. And then Cleveland missed a bunch of shots to start the second half, so that was the opportunity for Miami to get back in this game, and they scored 4 points over that stretch. So I sort of squandered their chance to maybe make this competitive at home. I don't know what else you want to talk about from this game because this was the most boring game, of course, from the weekend.
It was.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Max Strus game. I thought he was fun to watch.
Okay.
He got into his former teammate Tyler Hero's chest to guard him at the beginning of the game. He was doing a good job. Tyler Hero, super duper quiet night. 13 points on 13 shots while Strus was getting into it. He's banging home threes. They have too many guys. I mean, he hit 4 threes, 18 points. DeAndre Hunter comes off the bench and drops in 21. They just had way too many threes coming from multiple guys, including Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley. There's just so many guys coming while the Heat do not have enough.
Yeah, Spoelstra said after the game, our guys really want this, and it probably looks like our guys don't. But I know what our last 6 weeks have been like just to fight and scratch and claw to get into this, and that's why this is such a disappointing game. That sounds like a coach even waving the white flag on this series and season and saying, man, we've been through one hell of a season here with the whole Jimmy Butler saga and then just trying to sort of get into the postseason, and we got there, and we're just outclassed here. Any thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, my takeaway is that the NBA has a video on their YouTube page called Best Buckets from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's a 5-minute supercut of them scoring just from Game 3.
Yeah.
32 assists on 46 makes, and I'm with you. The coolest shot that was made was by Max Strus when he has that stare down three on Andrew Wiggins and slaps him on the butt after it goes through.
yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
That's been the only juice from this series is the picking on Tyler Hero narrative, and then them saying, "Oh, we're picking on you, Garland." Like that's really like what else from this series?
Yeah, that was
This
pretty
is the
funny.
quiet one.
They did that, and then Cleveland didn't play Darius Garland.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not picking on him. Watch this. I love that. We don't even need him.
Yeah. Jared Allen, good game, 22 points, 8 of 9 shooting, 10 boards. And Ty Jerome, did you mention him?
No, I
he
did
had
not.
13 and 11 in 22 minutes. Guy was like a plus 33 out there in limited time. So he was great. They showed Shakira sitting courtside. That got a big pop
Oh, okay.
from the Miami crowd. Yeah.
Nice.
Shakira. So that's all I got.
Was Opera Woman there? Opera jersey dress woman?
Yeah, she's there.
Nice,
She's
good.
always there. She's a diehard.
Yeah, she
Respect
is.
to her.
Yeah, she is.
Anything else? Probably not. And that one is tonight as well. That game 4. So I assume everybody thinks that one's done deal. Think the Cavs wrap it up, sweep it? Yeah. Yep. Let's show you the playoff bracket after going through all of that and where we stand. Obviously, the Thunder have taken care of business. They swept that one. They move on. We only have one 2-2 series right now, which is sort of just perplexing, as great as a lot of these games have been and great as these series have been. But Wolves up 3-1. Now Warriors Rockets, that's 2-1, so that could be 2-2 after tonight. We'll see. Cavs up 3-0 like we said. Pacers lead 3-1. Knicks up 3-1. Got a little help from Ref Bay. And the Celtics lead 3-1, and that one feels definitely like a 5-game series win for the Boston Celtics if I'm projecting ahead.
Some of these second round matchups are looking nice.
Oh my God! It's amazing that we've had some of these first round matchups. Like obviously Nuggets Clippers, Wolves Lakers even, and who knows even if the Rockets like tie this up 2-2. It's a very fun competitive series. So, second round, baby. Oh man.
Yeah, I saw ML here in the stream team said about Cavs versus Heat. I forgot this series existed.
Yeah.
Not next round. Cavs Pacers. That's
know,
exciting.
I
That's
know,
interesting.
I
know.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's for the league pass heads out there.
Yes, it is.
You had to have been paying attention because people are gonna be like, "Ugh, Cavs Pacers. Who wants to watch that?"
A lot of
I do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, sirs.
We will be watching it, and we'll be watching tonight's games, and we'll be back tomorrow. Cavs, Heat, like I said, Rockets, Warriors. Game 4 there in Miami, and then Game 3 in the Bay. We'll wait and see whether Jimmy Butler and his butt plays. So we'll be back tomorrow morning to talk about all of those. Thanks, everybody, joining us live. Obviously went through a lot there, but what a weekend. Mwah. Chef's kiss on that one. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, yes, sir, the playoffs are good. Whose team slogan is that?
Pacers.
Yeah.
we got it.
Pacers.
Yes, sirs.
Interesting.
It's fascinating. It's extra fascinating because they didn't go with all of the win 1 for or win 4.
Yeah.
Like they just like completely swerved on that one.
Fieldhouse is too long to put on that bottom line.
Yeah.
Win for the corn.
That'd
Win
be
for the
cool.
cars.
Win for the house.
Win for the. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
They call it that? They should call it that.
They
yeah.
should. Maybe it's more of a field.
Yes, sirs. It's fun to say though.
Brace the day, people.